Welcome to Yin Yoga Lifestyle. I am your host, Colette Darville, cultivating our body's resilience and inner silence and its application to all aspects of your life. Let's become enlightened and enjoy the power of intuitiveness and creativity. You are listening to Society Bites Radio, social interaction for the mind and soul. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. I am your host, Colette Darville, and this is Yin Yoga Lifestyle. So now let us take a deep meditative breath. Inhale, so. Exhale, hum. Sifu Matthew, known as the Injury Whisperer, is a Kung Fu master, world-renowned healer, performance expert, and founder of MAOW, the Martial Arts of Wellness. He has helped thousands heal from injuries and conditions that did not respond to any other form of treatment. Sifu Matthew is a master of understanding the electromagnetic forces of the body in relation to strength and wellness and performance. His ability to activate healing manifests from over 4 decades of training in the martial arts, where he acquired his unique understanding of the body's electrochemical and physical systems. Known for his ability to rapidly produce healing using the electromagnetism of his own body, he has consistently helped chronic conditions like Morton's neuroma, frozen shoulder, poorly healed fractures, and even restored motion in stroke victims, and even more. His real-time healing videos, which can be found online, demonstrate his ability to affect many conditions immediately. He has used abilities to heal his own severe injuries and dysfunctions that he had endured from early sports training and traumatic life situations, and they were non-responsive to other modalities. Sifu runs programs at the Hale Clinic in London and is instituting a customized MAOW wellness program with Lancerhof and the Arts Club. He is launching a new series of MAOW addiction recovery programs at the Carlin Hotel this fall. His corporate wellness programs include executive warrior force training and corporate healing. Sifu's clients include NBA stars, professional athletes, Hollywood celebrities, and business executives. He is an instructor in multiple martial arts disciplines, which include judo, jiu-jitsu, Wing Chun, the Bagua, and Lian Gong. Welcome to Yin Yoga Lifestyle, Sifu Matthew.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Sorry, I was a little tongue-tied there.
I was like, I thought you did a really good job there. So
thanks.
For the first time seeing that information, you know.
And then you realize how much you really have done, you know.
Yeah, that's
right?
True. It's true. Yeah.
What began your journey into martial arts and eventually into your life's work as a healer?
Well, you know, I started doing the martial arts when I was 3. Wow. And it was one of those things where it came through my mother and my father. My father had been in the martial arts for a large chunk of his life, and I was very hyperactive as a kid, and I was getting injured. Even at 3, I was getting injured, and my mother was like, "We need to put this kid somewhere where he at least can," because pottery class, you know, wasn't working, and it really wasn't what I was looking for. And so I started with judo at a very young age. And what's interesting about it was I remember that when they brought the idea to me, it seemed like it was just already activated. Like, I just remember it lit up my entire life. I just felt like, wow, this is what I need. You know, whatever you can recollect at that age. I mean, I would say 3.5 or close to 4. And then when I was 5, 5.5, 6, it just felt like that. This is the thing that I need, and yes. I don't need anything else. And over the course of decades, in many ways, it proved to be the elixir and the very mechanism of my lifeline as far as helping me get through very difficult times as a child and a teen by understanding these incredible forces and sciences that I think in some ways are still barely tapped.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. They really are, aren't they? I mean, it's and many of us, we're attentive. We are attentive to our bodies. We're working our bodies. We're going to the gym. We're doing, well, as much as we can during the pandemic. Right now, it's a bit difficult, but thinking about working our bodies. But you talk about the science of energetic fitness. Why should we even care about that?
Well, I think, it goes back to our minds
Mm,
and what we relate to. So I think that a lot of times we relate to things that are not true or half truths. And so, if you look at, for example, a perfect example would be professional athletes or fighters or just somebody who wants to stay in optimal health, and all of a sudden they start pushing themselves and they
right.
start working out thinking they're doing the right thing on some levels, but what ends up happening is they hurt their body because they're not necessarily working with all the layers. So my intent with this work is to help people understand that if you go into energetic wellness or energetic fitness, what you're doing is you're working with the electrical forces that actually make up your body versus
Mm,
just working with your body. So if you just work with your body, but you don't have a relationship to all the different forces that you could strengthen within your body, then you lose out on how to heal the mind, how to heal your organs, how to heal your ligaments. And often we end up depleting ourselves or simply missing the great, I would say, the great exposure to so many things that we have literally within ourselves that we just miss because we're focusing on one facet.
yeah.
And I would also want to elaborate on this point that when we're working out, we should be healing. So a lot of people look at the word healing let's say, in the new age community, that's not the case. We're all very, very lit up about the word healing. But when you start going out into the mainstream world and you look at even what's happening in society right now with the corona pandemic, with all of the different political agendas and the desire to balance out our
Yeah.
distress in ways that are very aggressive and out of balance, we don't have interest in healing yet at a larger
Mm,
spectrum. So
mm,
the focus of healing is really about learning how to use power appropriately so that you always stay in balance because we're always changing. And that's the secret here, is that if we're always changing on certain levels and we have access to energetic and electrical force that can really help us optimize ourselves through the changes we're going through, why wouldn't you want to have access to that? Because otherwise you just simply get stuck in a viewpoint of your mind of what you think you are,
right.
but not what is possible for reality for you.
Yeah, and now you've created something. It's called the system, right?
Mm-hmm,
And it's
mm-hmm.
for healing. Can we talk about that? Because many
Sure.
people are, a lot of people think, okay, I can't see energy. I might know it's there. I might be able to feel the heat from it, or I might feel something. Um,
Sure.
but a lot of people might be in the state, well, if I can't see it, it doesn't really
Right.
exist, right? But you
Right.
created the system. So could
Mm-hmm.
you talk about that?
Yeah. So the system is called MAOW. It's the MAOW, okay, the
Hmm.
acronyms, which is the martial arts of wellness. And the system is designed to get your body in alignment with the electrical forces around us that already exist, that are already healing us, but we're not in connection with them. So the system has specific positions and directions that activate those forces in your body automatically. So if you think of your cells as having electromagnetic poles, which they do, then when you shift your body position to a specific direction, what happens is there will be a new force coming in that will pull on your electrical field and your cells. So it will automatically create a healing change and also a change of building force in your body. And the principle of this is really to help people realize, number one, I want to kind of go back to your question. You spoke about we can't feel, sometimes just trying to understand what is energy or electromagnetic force. And I call it electromagnetic force just because it puts it a little bit into a tangible scientific word that basically, if you go back to Einstein's explanation, he spoke about fields and particles and how fields vibrate faster, basically, and particles break off of fields. So in a sense, we're not really solid, and we are. It's kind of both. Okay. Now, if you want to understand energy or electricity, it's just simply everything you feel in a given moment. So if you have a headache and your body is registering that signal, that's an electrical force in your body. When you feel heavy, that's another electrical force. That's a gravity force. When you feel light, it means you're dealing with electrical forces that are more light-based or more, I'll call them gas or vapor-based. So what's happening is because our body is such a large atmosphere for carrying electrical force, when our moods shift, when our pains shift, those are all changes in the energy or electrical force.
Yeah, that's and people are not aware of that most of the time. And I do say that a lot of times, we talk about this. It really is based in science, and it really is. And people think, oh, it's a bit woohoo, but it's actually not. It really is based in science. But I do want to talk about how much does a person's mind and breath, how does that affect healing?
I mean, it's everything in a sense, because your mind, what you believe, and also the kind of direction, your plans, your thoughts, where you tell yourself you're going, and then the breath, your power, or where you are in space. Okay, so the definition I'm giving is understanding that your breath is your atmosphere or your environment. So when we have a thought, okay, let's say you have a negative thought you're carrying around and a negative belief. So automatically with that belief, you're taking a form with your mind. You're literally taking an image or a form, and then you draw electricity and particles through your breath into the form that you're carrying in your mind. And you literally put yourself there in time space. So if I ask you how you feel today and you say, I feel really good, I feel really light, it means that your lungs, your breath, and your heart are in a field or carrying a field of more lightness and more stability. So what happens is the two working together can create great healing by adjusting your force and your particles, because your lungs, what you breathe, is your nutrients, it's your sustenance, and where you stand in your space is who you are and where you are. So when we're in trauma, okay, or stress, and we're in a position where we're experiencing the same pain, that's happening now, and it's happening in your mind and in your lungs, because if you hold a thought that's negative and you breathe, you're automatically recreating that trauma on a particle level in each moment.
Yeah, so, it's very powerful.
It's very powerful. You can also use the lungs as a sword, in a sense that as you consciously learn how to control the nerves and the electrical forces and the types of electrical forces that are emanating out of you and also flowing in you, you can dramatically change what's happening in your reality, because you're changing it on a force level. And something I want to give to the audience to understand, I see this a lot with healing, where sometimes we'll create an idea in our mind, I really want to heal, but it's not in your force. And it's why we fail quite a bit, is that it hasn't transferred into the embodiment of the lungs, the embodiment of the heart. It's more of an idea.
Yeah, that's a really powerful thing